What's up, everybody? It's Jrod, the filmmaker, film major, and fighting gamer from Philadelphia, and we are finally back with another episode of You Feel Me. And this episode is going to be a little different than all of my previous episodes. I'm not exactly doing a reaction or a review or a theory. This is more of a guide video, and if you've clicked on the video, you've seen the title, you know what we're about to get into. But we are going to give you the ultimate guide into the streaming wars, also known as the content wars. So now if you don't know what it is, don't worry. I'll give you a brief run through of what it is, how it works, and how it will affect you. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So to start off, I'm going to tell you a story. And this story is not about the content wars exactly, but it's about the format wars. A couple of years ago, there were two corporations, one called Toshiba and the other called Sony. And these two corporations were in a format war. They were fighting for market dominance over which format would be the new, big, high-definition disc that they had coming. So Toshiba came forward with the HD DVD. Sounds simple, but you're probably thinking, I've never heard of the HD DVD. And Sony came through with their own product known as the Blu-ray disc. And these two companies went to war with each other on which one would be the proprietary format for high definition disc. And the way it was won is that Sony and the Blu-ray decided to secure more movie studios than their competitor Toshiba with the HD DVD. So when certain studios would finish their movies, they already had a contract to distribute their films as Blu-rays instead of HD DVDs. So getting into the content wars, we're basically dealing with the same thing as the format wars. We have these big media corporations who are fighting for market dominance in this brand new space known as video streaming. So for my analysis, I'm going to focus on 7 different streaming services. These aren't all of them, but these are some of the most popular ones and some of the ones that I have experience with. We're going to focus on Netflix, Disney Plus, HBO Max, the Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and DC Universe. Of course, there are some other ones like Hulu, Crackle. I mean, there are a lot of streaming services, and I can assure you that a month after this video comes out, there'll be even more on the market. But we're going to focus on those. These corporations, these big media conglomerates, are not really fighting to see who is better at making content. But they're fighting for the same thing they've always been. Who can make more money off of, other things. And they're using content as a way to sell those other things. Apple TV Plus, for example, is using their content to sell Apple products, to sell technology, computers, phones, anything that the content can be absorbed on. Disney Plus is using the content to sell everything that Disney sells. Disneyland, Disney merchandise, Disney everything, And so none of these corporations that are making streaming services are exempt from trying to make money. Let's just say that. So all these corporations want to make more money off of their content. So their plan is who can make the best content, either new original content that we trust or familiar franchises being revitalized, and who can come in at the right price point, who can be affordable, who can work into the current system that people already have for absorbing content in television. So let's get right into it, and let's go into who has what, because that's one of the most important things. Now, I'll start with Netflix because Netflix is the oldest streaming service on this list. A lot of us have it. A lot of us have experience with it and the programs that are on there. So Netflix, of course, has been keeping up with their Netflix originals and programs that they've made famous, but they're trying to revitalize every single day to keep up in this content war. So if you've seen, a lot of famous franchises have been moving to Netflix, and we've seen a lot of content from them to kind of create more and more interest in subscribing to Netflix. You've got things like Breaking Bad, El Camino movie. You had the reboot of Rocko's Modern Life and Invader Zim, both on Netflix. You have creators that we trust like Shonda Rhimes and Ryan Murphy from FX. And then you also have some performers that we've gotten used to, like Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy with Dolomite. And anytime you see a recognizable name or title, it makes you feel comfortable with that certain streaming service. And I think that's what Netflix's goal is ultimately. Not to revolutionize, not to do anything new or different, but to ensure you that the content that they're putting out is something that you love and that you don't need to get used to because you already are. Disney Plus, honestly, I would be here for hours talking about everything that will come to Disney Plus. So if you want the streaming service that is hitting the ground with the most content, I would suggest you go to Disney Plus. In fact, they even put up a Twitter thread of every single thing that will be coming to Disney Plus at launch, and it goes back over 50 years of content, which to me is pretty crazy. But if you like any of the Disney original programs from Disney Channel, Disney and Pixar films, Disney animated films, franchises like Star Wars, Marvel, the Fox and Disney merger, you can get some things like The Simpsons, all coming to Disney Plus on November 12th. Me personally, I'm going to have to check it out. I mean, it has a brand new original Star Wars TV series, so there's no way that I can miss out on that. But for me, Disney Plus just seems like the big bully in the industry. Like, we know what Disney has. We've been watching Disney content for a while, and basically they're saying that they'll take their content off of everywhere else, and you have to exclusively get it here in this one place. So we'll see how it goes, probably well. Next, we have an up-and-comer that I'm actually going to have to keep my eye on, HBO Max. Now, HBO Max comes in at the most expensive of all the streaming services that I'm talking about today, but they have been announcing content non-stop, and I'm actually really excited for some of the shows that HBO Max is planning on coming with. Things like familiar shows like The Big Bang Theory or Friends, even The Boondocks is supposed to be coming back with their back catalog and a brand new season, which sounds amazing. A Game of Thrones spin-off. Shows from people like Ava DuVernay, Issa Rae, DC original shows like Superhero High and Doom Patrol Season 2. We'll talk more about that later. But yeah, so HBO Max is going to be hitting the ground with a lot of content. For me, it seems kind of weird because I have a subscription to HBO on television, and because of that, I have the HBO Go app so that I can watch it. If you don't have a subscription and you still want to watch HBO programming, there's also the HBO Now app. So once HBO Max drops, there's going to be HBO Go, HBO Now, HBO Max, all available. Two of them with the same things. HBO Max supposedly will have a lot more, but hey, if you want 3 different HBOs, then now is your time. Next, we have the Peacock, which personally, I didn't do a lot of research on it, but I know that they're supposed to have the back catalog of The Office coming to. And the Peacock is NBC's streaming service, which is why it has that really weird name. And personally, I'm curious, because I know a lot of people really, really love The Office. I'm curious to see if the streaming service will succeed with, just The Office as its main driving content. Then we have Apple TV Plus. Personally, I don't care at all about Apple TV Plus. I don't have any Apple products, and so I'm probably not going to be pressured into getting Apple TV Plus as often as other people. But they have some shows, a lot of original shows coming. Dickinson, which I believe started already, based on Emily Dickinson's young life. The Morning Show, which is a scripted series about a morning show, featuring like Jennifer Aniston, Steve Carell, Reese Witherspoon, and more. The Servant, which the trailer just dropped today. It's an M. Night Shyamalan series coming to Apple TV+. I'm actually really excited to look at it, maybe react to the trailer. But I don't know if I'm going to pay for the streaming service just to watch the show. And then finally, I just read about a show called Ghostwriter coming to Apple TV+, which seems to be a kids series with some elements of history and some mystical, magical elements all thrown in there. Maybe I'll check it out. And Apple TV Plus is coming in at the cheapest of all of the streaming services at only $5. So if you want the cheap one, I would say this is the way to go. Plus, if you have an Apple product, I think you are offered a free year of Apple TV Plus. So look into that. Next, we have Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime is not a new one, really. It's been out a little longer than all the ones I just named except for Netflix. But me personally, I've only just begun really getting into Amazon Prime, and they have some great content. I didn't even know. 2 shows that I started watching that I'm absolutely in love with on Amazon Prime is The Boys, coming back for a second season, and Carnival Row, which is also coming back for a second season. So right now I actually don't have an Amazon Prime subscription, but when those 2 shows come back, I might have to re-up on that. They also have some great shows like The Marvelous Miss Maisel, which gets a lot of critical acclaim, but I've never personally seen it, as well as Fleabag, which just did amazing at the last Emmys, and I still haven't seen it, but I'm really excited to check it out. And finally, DC Universe. I put this one on here because I have some experience with DC Universe. I had the free trial. I've watched a couple different shows on there, including Titans, Young Justice, Doom Patrol, and then some old back episodes of Static Shock. And I really enjoyed DC Universe more than I even thought I would. The back shows look great. Like, I enjoyed rewatching Static Shock. It was slightly higher resolution, and I could watch it in full screen or widescreen. I really enjoyed the original content. Titans was it was okay. Young Justice was really good, and Doom Patrol was one of my favorite shows on the whole thing. It really exceeded my expectations, and I'm very excited for season 2. Unfortunately, season 2 of Doom Patrol will not be coming to DC Universe. It will be coming to HBO Max. So if you, like me, enjoyed it, then you might want to check out HBO Max for that second season. So that's basically what streaming service has what content. But as you can see, content is being switched and swapped between these services all the time. And also new original content is being announced every day for any of these streaming services. So I would recommend you really keep your eye to the streaming service that you might be interested in and see what they announce. Next, we're going to go into what does this content war mean? What does it mean for us? You know, not what does it mean for Disney and Netflix and Viacom and Time Warner. What does it mean for the consumer? And what does it mean for the content creator? Well, it may be a little too early to speak, but I think that the content wars means only good things for the consumer and for the content creator. If you think back to the format wars, they were called the format wars because they were 2 media corporations fighting for dominance in format. And this war is the content wars. All these different streaming services are fighting for dominance in content. So for us as a consumer, that just means we're going to get so much content. You can choose 1, 2, or a few of these content, of these streaming services and see if they work for you. So yeah, that's going to be about it. If you have any questions about the streaming services, you can reach out to me, although I'm not an expert. I just did research for this video. Also, I am working on basically a physical guide that you can scroll through on your phone to see what prices of streaming services are, content, to see what it would be like to live for a couple of days with one of these streaming services and would it work for you. So when that is live, I'll definitely make sure to put a card in the video and a link in the description for you to check it out. Oh, I also wanted to say about Netflix. One of my favorite shows of this entire year, no, scratch that. My favorite show of this entire year so far is on Netflix. It just dropped this year and it's called Top Boy. I suggest all of you check it out. It is beautiful. I actually cried on the very last episode. And it just goes to show that although Netflix has been out for so long, they can still create moving content that is like something you've never seen before. Any of these services could. So I suggest you guys really check out any of these shows if you're moved to any of these original movies, any of these podcast series, whatever they got coming out. Just check it out because you don't know what could be the next greatest series. So that'll do it for this video, you guys. Comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know down below if you feel me or if you don't feel me. I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, and also, finally, I just wanted to go back to something I mentioned. The Boondocks is supposed to be coming to HBO Max with the back catalog, a new special, and a brand new season. I found out about that from an interview with John Witherspoon, and if you guys don't know, sadly, John Witherspoon passed away last Wednesday, and it's so unfortunate. He played Granddad, Jebediah Granddad Freeman on the Boondocks, and he played a lot of other characters that I grew up with, and he was just one of those TV mentors to me throughout the years. So I'm gonna end this video with a memorial to some of my favorite performances by John Witherspoon, and may he rest in peace. Peace, guys. I'll see you in the next one.
Let's paint a picture of someone you love. Maybe someone who's not with us anymore.
It's so beautiful. Thank you, boy. That sound echo through the night. Sound I hear when I'm holding you tight. It's my bell, baby, you just rang. It's my love going bang, bang, bang.
Ow!
Mm-hmm. You're having that dream where you made the white people riot, weren't you?
But I was telling the truth.
How many times have I told you you better not even dream about telling white folk the truth? You understand me? Shoot. Making white people riot. You better learn how to lie like me. I'm gonna find me a white man and lie to him right now. You know what this is? This is Winky Dinky Dog.
I know, and I'm glad to be working here at Winky Dinky Dog.
Yeah, it sends chills down my spine every time I say it. Winky Dinky Dog. Bobby, say it with... So quick to pick up a gun. You're scared to take an ass whipping. This one makes you a man. When I was growing up, this was all the protection we needed. You win some, you lose some. But you live to fight another day. And you think you're a man with that gun in your hand, don't you?
I'm a man without it.
Put the gun down. Come on, put up your dukes. Now you're a man.